It's time again. Welcome back to Other Thoughts Name Pending. So today I'd like to talk about something that has been discussed a lot on the Bird app and just in general for a long time now, actually. Namely that being SBMM. We actually covered this on my podcast, which I guess I'll link it in the description or something. That I talked with Garrett, and it's going to air on Sunday, so it's not going to be out, but make sure to go check out the off-stream podcast. Maybe drop a follow, drop a subscribe. It really helps out. So anyways, SPMM has been in gaming since forever, and we've been seeing a lot of tweets lately about Call of Duty streamers getting mad about SPMM. We saw a tweet from Tim the Tatman saying that he won't be playing. Here he says there's a low chance he'll stream Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer because of skill-based matchmaking. Let's just take a look at that clip and see what he had to say.
Guys, but after streaming Battle Royales for majority of my career, I'll throw that in air quotes, that's what I really love streaming. Can I be completely honest with you guys? If SBMM wasn't a thing, I would stream multiplayer. SBMM, I've said this before and I'll say it again, man. SBMM is I dare say, killing video games as a whole. I don't want to get on a huge SBMM tangent here. We don't have to do this, okay? But it literally, I am playing against Giga Sweats with no rating, and then John comes in with, you know, his binky in his mouth, and John's like, wow, you're ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm playing against guys that have like a 1.5 or a 2 or a 3 KD.
So his point is basically somewhere along the lines of, I'm a content creator and I can make good content because of SPMM. I need to fight worse opponents because it looks more impressive, because the average player is not very smart. That's what he's saying. Is he right? Is he wrong? Well, that's not up for me to say, but I'm going to say he's right. There's a problem with the Battle Royale genre. If you look at other genres out of Counter-Strike, League, or whatever, people understand that there is SPMM. They understand that there is a skill component. It's not completely random, but like he's a little Timmy with his binky. He's not able to tell the difference in a Battle Royale. And then in Battle Royales, most players are Timmy with their binkies. So a content creator who makes gameplay style content, they feel like they need to fight players that are much worse than them if they want to actually, you know, make impressive gameplay content. Like if you're in a very difficult lobby, because that's all people see, right? Like if I'm in a very difficult lobby and I kill 5 predators, that's still gonna look way less impressive than me killing 10 bronze players, right? And that's his argument, right? At the end of the day, I don't mean that it's right or it's wrong. That's his perspective as a content creator, which is a very small subset of people. Then you have the in-between, where some people say they don't want to sweat. I turn on a casual playlist. I need to lock in, put in my highest effort, because no matter what I do, I'm put against like really difficult players. I'm in like basically ranked, and they want like either a more lenient SPMM or they want a more, like most of these games have a ranked mode. It's very strange. Like I'm going to say something probably controversial here. At least in Apex, you have SPMM in pubs and you have a ranking system. And I feel like SPMM is stronger, like the matchmaking is stronger in Apex pubs than it is in ranked. Now, this might be because of the player population and whatnot, but again, I feel like assuming I'm stacking, I feel like some of the SPMM, or I feel like some of the games I get in pubs are more sweaty than some of the games I get in ranked, because you're just rolling over platinums there, whereas in pubs you meet diamond masters and preds. It's kind of crazy. That's just how my matchmaking works. And then for the average player who is the Timmy, who's the one who's platinum, who's gold or whatever, they need SPMM. They need it. It protects them having fun at the end of the day. I can see that too. If you're a below average player, if it wasn't for SPMM, you get curb stomped every single game. And, you know, we notice by gaming, like we have a lot of people that are active on the internet. For it, I don't have the number, but for every person who utters their opinion online, there's probably like 100 or 1,000, if not more people that just quietly play the game. They don't share their opinion or whatever, and they are very low rated. They don't have a lot of kills. They don't win a lot of games. They're just kind of, they're bots. I just have to say it straight out. And SPMM exists to protect those people. But the people that are vocal on the internet, they're all players who have, they're usually like around average or above average, because you'd have to be pretty good at a game to seek more knowledge, or rather you become good. There's a correlation here. I'm not going to sit there and explain it, but I feel like you get what I mean. So the reason I wanted to mention this, or rather what reminded me of this, is that Rickles, technical director over at Apex, over at Respawn, he actually shared how matchmaking works for ALGS, or rather for Apex, for their pubs. And he says that matchmaking is a combination of three things: a progression system, a matching algorithm, and a skill rating. He says that the progression system is what's exposed to the player. Typically in a rank system, it is your badge, gold or something, but it doesn't correlate directly with your skill. People's skill usually does not change enough, and players love moving numbers. That's gratification. So if you had the 1-to-1 skill progression system, usually it would be a number that would stay the same over a season. Boring. People don't engage with that, which I understand. The second bit is a skill rating. It is where the math and stats enter play to try to evaluate your level. This is where most of the secret sauce is made. In a 1-versus-1 team game, it is easier, obviously, because you win or you lose. The outcome can be predicted in some ways. For a BR, it's a bit more tricky because you have a bunch of RNG, absolutely, and other factors, and more importantly, what does winning means. Again, secret sauce. The last bit is the matching part, how the algorithm is going to make choice to pick your opponent and your teammates. Is it going to be the closest member in skill in a queue? Is it going to be the guy that waited the longest in a queue because he needs to play before? Statistically, quitting the game, it can get quite convoluted, and it's definitely not easy. On top, you have the technical criteria of latency and region. It is a hard problem. So what is SPMM? It is just matchmaking with skill rating, so by definition, just matchmaking. What matters is the skill system used, and it's where you should ask a question, I think. What does the game favor or think makes you a good player? The progression on top is to give you a sense of achievement, nothing more. You are what you are, and progressing your actual skill, the game takes way longer than the short loop of reward dopamine you get from finishing a single game. To get back to the question, pubs usually does not get a progression system and therefore is less sticky to players compared to ranked, but ranked can be scary because people care about their progression numbers. You have to offer a way to engage with the game without having them to worry about it, without stress, but is a pure skill rating that different in both modes? Usually not. I really like that he said this because I genuinely can tell this. I've genuinely noticed that. If we don't talk about what happened, like what I said a few minutes ago about how you kind of like have like in ranked feels sweatier than pubs feel sweatier than ranked sometimes. Like I've genuinely said this myself. I've played the game and said like, oh, this feels just like ranked. Like I've said that the difference between ranked and pubs is like in ranked there is something to lose, in pubs there isn't. So you'll see different levels of play, but the player's skill is usually around the same level, if not higher in pubs, because nobody really plays ranked anymore. So I think that's very interesting what he said here. And it says he also finishes with, it's not just the same state that drives different gameplay behavior, which is super interesting itself, playing away and playing silly. So wait, yeah, he literally just said what I said at the end there as well. So this is such an interesting tweet. It doesn't say too much. It doesn't involve, for example, if you lose 10 games in a row, you'll start getting super easy games with super good teammates playing as level 1s. It doesn't mention that, but it's very interesting what he said, especially the last part, which is genuinely something that it resonated with me, actually. So that's really cool to see. But the SPMM has just gone crazy about this, or rather the discussion has been going crazy. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. Personally, content or no content, I would kind of prefer having a pubs mode without SPMM. That's what I personally think. I'm not thinking the grander scheme of things, just personally. Not because I want to stump every single game, that would be boring, but I would want to feel like it's not so sweaty. And but that's what I think at the end of the day. So I'm torn. I still haven't landed exactly where I want because I don't want SPMM completely gone. I just think maybe in this case of Apex, it's probably a little bit too strict, if anything. Anyways, that was just my thoughts on that. Super excited to see that he admitted that part. I'm actually going to go and drop a tweet about that in a second. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you watch this far. And I'll see you all when I see ya. Peace out.